everybody, welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more of our, that's right people, that's right, our videos, even on by myself, because as we all know, it's very random when I release them. I don't really have any consistency with a day, just as and when I do a video, I release it. I want to get time and motivation. But today is a catch-up day. That's right people, it's a catch-up day. We went down to the Royal Welsh Show in Builth, Wales. And we had an absolutely fantastic time. Now, it's the first time I've been to the show, and I wasn't aware that the showground was like all concrete roads or tarmac roads, whatever. So I thought it was going to be a bit of a mud bath with the weather, so didn't really wear the right footwear. And yeah, it was a bit of a long day on the feet, but we had a fabulous time. We got some really good information, some really useful ideas on some things, and there were some things that we weren't quite sure of. Made a few purchases. Food was one of them. Food was, I can't speak for the whole show, but the food stand that we bought off wasn't the best. But hey ho, that's what it's like. So, what else did we get? Well, I moivered and got a white bag. Yeah, I got myself a little white bag. Well, I didn't get a little white bag, the business got a little white bag. So, what did I get? I got a free. They're normally about a £5, but this was free. Spork. And how did I get a free spork? Well, I got a free spork because we went there. So, we were looking at ball bag version of ram mounts, and we were kind of, yeah, that'll do, like 40 quid for the ram mount version, like 40 quid, that'll do, stop the phone falling out, job's a good one. Really impressed because, just show people now, that piece is like steel or alloy. I want to say it's alloy, and I'm sure a lot of the cheaper ones on the internet are plastic, and it's amazing how tight you can do that up to grip, so that's really good. We did get with it the clamp to go around the grab handle, potentially on the door, so that might go on the offside door. You get this little bit which is screwed onto whatever surface you want, which I don't intend on using. In the kit you get this is what we got. I'll show you now, because we need to test it all anyway, so I'm going to get out the packaging. I'm trying not to break it all. Right, so we have this, what the phone fits in, and it's a wireless charger as well, so literally just pushes up and your phone clamps in there like that, so absolutely goes nowhere. That's brilliant. Then that bit clamps on. Good grief, I'm organised. Nice, organised. Yeah, so essentially that clamps on there, and then you can either use the fixed mount or you can use the grab mount, and yeah, clamps on, do that up, job's a good one. So first thing I'm going to do is make sure that that actually works and charges my phone with the electric wires and whatever's that's here. Yeah, then we'll probably see if we can either get that on the offside door. Knife. Yeah, we get this on the offside door, or the reason he's included this is you can unscrew that off of there. So you've just got the ball, which we might be doing yet, depending how it looks on the door handle. And the reason why we've asked for that and not a screw-on complete unit is this is the mount that was in the tractor when I got it, and it's screwed in here to either M8 or M10 bosses that are in the B pillar of the cab, yeah? So ICB, really good, and I think I'm probably going to have to scrape all this foam off here and get some like number plate sticky things. That should sit up there like that, you see. So as that sits up there, the foam sits under there, and then depending on how it works for that being in gear there, it might be a case of the foam goes on here and I can cable tie the wire along the handle. It can run up to wherever then. Might run off the DIN plug that's down there, or I'll hardwire it into the fuse board in here. Not too sure on that yet. Yeah, I mean realistically if the phone's out it could actually be looking at me, couldn't it? And is it better to do there than have it up here? Certainly out of the way of that there, but the RAM mount will kick out a little bit to here. So yeah, don't know. It's either gonna, like I say, we'll take the ball off and screw the ball on there where that is, or we'll clamp on there out the way with all the gear stick and that, and it'll be reasonably tidy. I do want to make a bracket potentially to go on here. Down here somewhere is another boss hole, and I want to drill through that and go into that bracket boss in there. Now, I mentioned on a video the other day that the owner's manual for these tractors, which is available free of charge as a download off the John Deere website, does actually have all the dimensions for where the bosses are in this pillar here and this pillar here. Same on that one because it's identical. Yeah, and likewise, and it gives the measurements of like from where they're pushed in to where the next boss hole is, so you can drill it, etc. Because I'm thinking down here I'm going to put a monitor, well, like a tablet, or possibly there, and probably will be there to be fair. So I utilise the bosses that are in here. 80 quid John Deere want, yeah, for a bit of metal that's bent up and across there, and then it's got a little bit of metal that comes out here, like a bit of 6mm by 50 flat bar that's bent. 80 quid. Not paying that, we'll make that piece of cake. So we'll utilise wherever the bosses are in here, and then I want to mount a tablet in here just so that it makes it easier to get into roads without having to count across where you're going, and for like muck spreading and stuff you can just put your width in, and when it gets dark you can drop in easier when you can, because once you're in a row or you're following where you've spread, you can see the edge to mirror it and run parallel to it, so it's not a problem. But it's just finding that where you need to drop in, I find is a problem in the night. So a tablet on there running off the like cheap GPS thing that you get, you know, with the lights on either side, tells you where to go left or right. Plenty accurate enough for what we do in the dark. So that'll go down on there. And I need to make a bracket to hold the baler controller. Now, whether the baler controller should be down there, or I'm thinking it needs to be up there really, where you can just literally, because in the case, in Robert's case, it's up here somewhere kind of thing. So if I had a bracket that came off here, and if I'm not using that for a foam mount now, I could have a bracket off of there that came out to there. There was some sort of quick release. I reckon I've had the tapered wedge bit on here, and then the rest of it just dropped in with the arm and everything else, so that that's not there afterwards. That'd be great. That'd kind of be where I want to be, because the CB's staying there now. That's good. We'll get handle, like I say, think it there. We could, if we had a bracket on here, have it coming up and mount the CB handle like this. I've got to take this foam off and see if I can screw it to anything. We could screw it down to a bracket maybe, not too sure yet, but I think number plate sticky foams would be the way to go for that at the minute, because the tape sticks to the cab but it doesn't stick to the foam on the back of the bracket for whatever reason. It just falls off overnight. And that's about it for the day really. That's what we got for that. So what else was we up to at the show? We were looking very heavily at sheep handling equipment, because we're going to be upping our numbers of ewes to increase the number of lambs, and we need to get to the point where the amount of sheep justifies the amount of work that goes into doing them to make it financially viable, because at the moment it's more like a hobby than making a living out of it. So we're going to be upping the number of sheep a little bit, taking a little bit more of our land back from people it's rented to facilitate that as well, and we need to be more efficient with the sheep handling. So yeah, if anyone has any good suggestions on sheep handling equipment. We were looking at AIE at the show. Some really good things we like about that. We like that it's got the raised platform, so you're not bending over as much when the sheep are in the race. The clamp is on a toggle switch, which is pneumatic, which is really good because it means it clamps the sheep really fast as it's running in, rather than you having to jump on a bar that then puts pressure on the clamp to move it across, etc. It's like foot operated, like the Bateman for example. I'm sure they do a better, like more expensive upgraded one or a cheaper one for different people. We had a look at Shepherd's Mate. Now they had all the time in the world for us on the stand, which was really good. I'm just not convinced at how you have to roll a sheep out of the race and into the material to roll it onto its back through the side of the race. That it makes no sense to me, and I think it could be potentially dangerous and bad for your back as well, because at the moment we are using race setup. So we've got a frame at each end, got two sides now, and we've got two at the back which are like guiding them around into the force, you know, and to try and force them around and that. We got our little shedding gate this end, and then they either go on the scales, or with that gate shut they come in this area here, then we can catch them. And like the other day we were trimming the feet and the clothes and that. So this is our little turnover crate that we've got. So bottom of the sheep goes here, head goes in here, then this handle clamps it all down. So, well, this is this handle actually. This handle you pull it and pulls it in to clamp the sheep, and then you literally just roll it onto its back like so. The sheep's clamped in there so you can do its feet, etc. Job's a good one, which is great. However, because this is not a design that was ever made to be incorporated into a race, it's a standalone unit, and for a lot of what we do, this works really well as a standalone unit, because obviously you can get all the way around, but it does mean that you're moving the sheep from there in our setup into here, because then we can let the sheep out the gate there, back out into the yard, or we can send them back that way if we need to do anything else to them afterwards, and they can go back through the race again. So in terms of being able to work the sheep, in the race and being able to do footwork and tail trimming, you know, like docking them to get the crap off their bums and that in the race. What do you think is the best system on the market for us to take inspiration from? We're not in a position to buy a complete new system, but we are in a position where we can buy parts of a system and integrate them into what we currently have. Now, when the show had gone past 5 o'clock and some of the trade stands had kind of packed up, if you were, like the people had gone because their day had finished, we went back to the AIE stand, and they have a gate which, whereas it does exactly the same as this, it's like a forcing gate, but it has a bracket that fits on here, and there's wheels, and what you can do is you can actually get the gate and slide it through to here, and then you can go round and force again all the way around to where that stops, slide it through and start again. Now our local stockist has got these gates on show, yeah, but they're not set up. So we were looking at it thinking, why the hell have you got a gate on a set of wheels that looks like it does no purpose? But having the setup at the show, and when most of the people had moved away from the stand so you could actually have a play with the equipment, we could see the real benefit of that. Whereas at the moment our gate works, but if we have sheep in this area here, we got to pull the gate back all the way around and then push again. It's not the end of the world, it works really well for what we want, but the AIE system is a little bit better. So if you've got any suggestions on good sheep handling equipment, then let us know in the comments. You've just had
Big mate's been on the phone.
big mates.
Yeah.
You had
Are we ready for topping next week?
a flurry of moiver.
Yeah. Do you like my little phrase, a flurry of moither?
This, people, is now the thing. Yeah, this is going to be the next. You know, like grassmen have got their like keep her lit and all that shit.
Keep her lit and all that. Bananas. Yeah.
This man has a flurry of moiver.
A flurry of moither.
So we've got the contract,
So next week.
the 40-acre contract.
No. This is the one up at Kerry that we did last year.
The big, like, hundreds of acres. But you was all stressed about doing 40 acres for somebody. Now
I haven't chased that job yet.
No.
I've got to fix the tractor first.
Because we've hit the big time now.
So anyway, yeah. So
Big pals,
and
big
then
pals.
and then the next door neighbour local, he's just picked up his bit of welding fiddle. I've told him he could have it. I haven't charged him.
Who were?
It's like good, as generous like that. See.
You is.
Yeah. And I've showed him the logs and the results from the processor, and he seems happy with the idea. But I've said, and he's keen for us to go there with 2 tractors to do it. But he's gonna, yeah, it'll all be all or nothing, won't it? That's the way it goes.
You had a flurry of moive and now a flurry of activity.
Well, hopefully, if we have a flurry of work that actually pays, it'll help finances, won't it?
Possibly. So I've just been explaining that we had some good knowledge from the show.
You know how I'm a really hard-working, busy person and wouldn't spend all his time on the phone.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Not your big mate. Big pals.
Yeah,
Big pals.
But on the phone looking. Yeah. I've just realised we've missed a big section of Royal Welsh Show as far as there was an indoor building with all sorts of livestock handling equipment inside the building, and we never even went in there.
Could we go back for Thieving Thursday?
Thieving Thursday. Yeah. So, and in fact, somebody's won a prize at the Royal Welsh for their invention for this year. Yeah. And it's like a double length feed
sheep race.
Sheep race.
Yep.
with a floor that lifts up, I would guess 4 inches between each slat. Yeah, and the floor lifts up and you hydraulically lift it. So the sheep legs drop between the floor.
Yeah.
So it lifts them up by their belly and they can't run
away.
off, and you can drench them all while they're being held, because their feet are...
And just hope you don't trap their legs when you lower them back down.
How will you trap their legs?
Because they'll be kicking and...
Well, I'd have thought once their feet touch the ground as you're lowering.
I would hope so.
But it's won a Royal Welsh Show prize as far as innovation prize of the year.
That's right.
But
Labour won a flipping election.
how? Well, if you promise miracles when you've no chance of when you've got no intention of even following through, it's amazing what you can.
Labour won a
con
bloody
people
election.
into.
Oh dear.
Hey ho.
On to the Massie.
I don't want to get into politics because, unfortunately, it
Think of the comments.
raises
Think of the
emotions of disasterness.
Right. On to the Massie.
Need to get on with it because my big mates was asking, have we got it in the shed yet?
Big pal.
Big pal.
Big pals. Is that big pal with him?
He's been on
He
the
keeps
phone.
calling him the wrong name.
He's been on the phone this morning saying, have we got it in the shed? Is it ready for use next week? I said, well, we can use no aircon if we're struggling.
What's the plan? Are we moving the major out there and emptying the trailer in there with logs, or are we just doing it in the yard and just gonna use the JCB as a wall to drive into with the other bucket?
I'm half even wondering whether to just...
Do you be careful with swearing about manual labour?
I was wondering whether to just dump them in front of the trailer, and the mighty Massie's got to go in there.
The mighty Massie with no PTO drive at the moment. See this, people? Still got my ratchet strap holding the battery on. Not only is it holding the battery on, it's holding the battery on too, which is quite good. So this needs fixing for next week because it's going off to work. That man's going off to work next week as well. And look at this, people!
Almost a workshop.
Look at this!
I'm slowly finding fully found it, yeah.
Belly's never been in here. Belly's always had to go around.
She's still got to go around a little bit.
Do you know what? If we don't capture this moment, nobody will believe it's happening.
Nobody will believe it's emptying.
No. So there we go. There's a little catch up. Now, got loads of videos to edit and stuff. So we just thought that because we don't really do the daily in and outs, do we?
No.
Oh.
You show Bilky giraffe.
Bilky giraffe that has Bilky's head recovered yet?
We
Had a little incident.
A little trailer load of logs. And what was it? 20 minutes?
No, 12.
15 minutes? 12, 15 minutes?
12 minutes it took to empty that trailer.
Yeah. They all went in one end, out the other. And
Did a cracking job.
well, quite literally, because it split the stuff into splinters.
And you've had a tickle in here with the blade, haven't you? You've been making it a little bit sharper.
Yeah, that's the sort of
Aggressive finish. It's crude, but it works.
yeah. Let's say it. So I just showed the next door neighbour that it'll do that sort of job.
So we're going to thank everyone for watching.
Yep. Yeah,
Thank you.
Please make us millionaires.
What's a T6 dynamic command on demo he does.
Yeah.
So if you can sort one of them out so you can have one on demo.
Yeah.
Demo?
Look, 15-year demo. Can I have a 15-year demo?
You can have it on demo for next week to go topping.
I say.
Working aircon.
That would be nice. But I don't think a dynamic command is quite 180 horse isn't quite needed for a 9-foot topper.